So in 12 minutes or less, what is Warrior 3? Well, you've probably heard Warrior 1, Warrior 2, just different variations of a pose that is truly based in strength, being a warrior of such. This pose really strengthens the legs and abdominal muscles. It works on your back side of your body, your standing leg. There's a lot of balance happening. You have to pull in through your abdominals. So it's kind of an overall body thing, but to me, it's definitely a balance pose. And it's something that really does require some attention because it's easy to throw yourself out of alignment with this pose. So that said, again, the Sanskrit name is Virabhadrasana 3, or I don't know if it's called C or not, because I know Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 is also called Virabhadrasana A or Virabhadrasana B. But we'll stick with the numbers because I think that makes it pretty self-explanatory what we're working on. This pose is just really all about the strength of that standing leg, finding your balance to extend. Now there are a lot of variations that we can pull into this. My favorite way to practice this is with my hands forward on a chair or the back of a couch. It takes the fear of falling out where you can focus on that standing leg, squaring off your hips, as well as keeping that extended leg internally rotated so that your pinky toe points down. I'm sure you've heard that once or twice. What happens is when you externally rotate your leg and the toes point out, your hips begin to shift and open. And we don't want that. We want to really keep the alignment for the foundation so your hips stay squared to the earth. And then you're taking your heart and your arms forward. Maybe the gaze is a little bit past the edge of your mat. And a lot of times this becomes challenging because now the weight is in the front half of your body, which sometimes take you forward, and then you lose your balance. So you have to pull in through the low belly, focusing on staying balanced with the weight throughout the four corners of that standing foot. Okay, so I'm going to show you a Warrior 3, and then I'm going to give you a couple of options for how you could modify this and practice it on your own. Okay, good. So if you have questions, feel free to write them along the way, and I'm looking while I'm talking. So, Warrior 3, don't look outside, it's snowing. Warrior 3, Tadasana, here we are. Warrior 3 is just going to be this gorgeous extended pose, pulling in through the low belly, standing on, we'll start with the right leg, and you're just really looking for those 90-degree angles, right? So you start to take your hip forward, you start to take your leg back, keep your foot flexed, internally rotating the extended leg so the pinky toe points down, helping to keep your hips square. Now already I'm feeling the shift and the strength that's required from this standing leg. You might want to look straight down, keeping the back of your head in line with your spine. And then I'm going to take my arms forward. So now I'm shifting and I feel this having to pull in much stronger through my low belly. So this is the fully extended version of the pose, Warrior 3, which I usually fall out of. So I'm kind of excited that I was just able to do that. Now, variations for this pose. All you need is a wall, the back of a couch, or a chair. So you're going to walk yourself far enough away from the wall so that you can reach. I think that this helps take the fear of falling out, but you don't want to lean too heavily into this wall. So maybe you back up just a little bit so you know it's there and you can just maybe bounce off of it. And then from here, lifting the back leg up, looking to keep it in line. So you see how my hip's starting to open? We want to really draw that hip down. Sometimes it helps to start with your hands on your hips to feel that they're square to the earth. Again, internally rotating the extended leg. And then if you want to play with this by taking your arms out, you can. Sometimes you'll hear a variation for Warrior 3 where they'll say bring your hands to your heart. Sometimes I cue it with keeping your hands right on your hips because there again, it helps to keep you more focused on keeping the hips square to the earth. We'll go through the other variation in just a minute. But this pose is truly based in strength the name Warrior 3 correlating along with Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. It's just a really strong pose from the lower body up, but then you've got the grace of the arms. So whether it's Warrior 1 with the arms up, Warrior 2, arms extended, Warrior 3, reaching forward. But if you need to modify that and you take your hands to your heart space in any of those poses, it works. Again, sometimes I like to take my hands to my hips because it just keeps me grounded. So let's try that again. Now this time I'm going to move so you can see this way. So there's my chair. So whether you have a chair or the back of a couch, it's the same thing. You're going to start to lean forward, resting your hands here, taking that leg back. And if you find that you're really struggling by internally rotating the thigh so you can keep the toes pointed down, this is my other trick. So we go back to the wall, and I put my foot against the wall. And once I get my foot there, I might have to adjust a little bit. See, it's trickier than you think. There we go. Now, I have more opportunity to play with the upper half of my body, either by extending my arms forward. This is definitely harder than putting your hands on a chair. Bringing my hands to my heart, taking my arms by my side, and then just readjusting my hips to be sure that they're square to the earth and that the pinky toe of the extended leg is pointing down. Oh, now even that, I feel it. Not only do I feel it, it creates a little bit of heat. Once you figure out how to get into this pose and you can work through your balance, you start to come back to your breath and you let that anchor you through that standing leg. You breathe in, you breathe out, and now you're truly working on the balance portion of the pose. So don't shy away from Warrior 3 just because you think that you might be falling out of it and you can't do it. Take it apart. Start with either the lower half of your body or the upper half of your body, and then you can start to feel where you need to be. Once you start to master those particular places where your body has to be in, maybe the muscle memory takes over, and if and when you're in a class where they're calling for Warrior 3, you'll go, oh wait, this doesn't feel like it did when I was practicing at home. So don't be shy. Use the back of the couch or a chair. Again, you're looking for beautiful 90-degree angles, arms extended, and then again, if that's too much, start with the hands at the heart or keep your hands right on your hips. But continue to work on internally rotating the extended leg, staying balanced through all 4 points of the standing leg, and breathe. Pulling into that low belly, continuing to breathe as deeply as you can will help ground you. So I'm going to do this one more time so I can see if I can get my hips squared up without too much added attention to that. So we'll just start from, you can also, this is a great pose to go into from crescent lunge because you're really pulling in through the low belly. So if you're in crescent or low lunge and you decide, or the teacher calls for Warrior 3 and you're like this, well, all you got to do is straighten your right leg and pushing off with the left, pulling into the low belly, lean forward and lifting. You can go nice and slow, flex the foot, internally rotate that leg, keep lifting through the heel. And then if you want to take your hands somewhere else, move them super slow to keep you balanced. You're still drawing into that standing leg, internally rotating the extended one. One more breath in. And then nice and slow, you could return to Tadasana. Didn't realize I was so far out of focus. So I'll go back and use the wall, hand on the wall. Taking your heart forward, pulling in through the low belly to get this nice angle here. And then lifting the leg. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep pulling in and up. And then nice and slow. Going in to a pose or coming out of a pose. Keep hugging all those muscles onto your bones. Take your time. Continue to breathe deep. And then let your body do the rest. Okay, so strong pose. Focuses on opening the backside of the body. You're using your quads and your hamstrings. You're definitely using your abdominals. If you